Are you ready? Let's check the time first. It's 15:35. And then it ends at it's 40 minutes. Yeah. Yes. So you have 25 minutes plus 15. It's quarter past 4. Yeah.
Okay. No, thank you very much. DM, let's start from where you left off with Honorable Ngola on the issue of a new study which gave birth to a new organogram that you say it was signed on in May 2025. In your statement on page 19, paragraph 58, you are saying there is a Brixton murder and robbery, which was established. When was it established?
The Brixton?
Yeah, the Brixton.
No, it in the olden days, the apartheid period, you had a murder and robbery unit, the Brixton murder and robbery unit, which it seems like it was doing a good job, because I came to know about it in my village where I come from in Zanin.
Okay.
Then and that is way back. So in the discussions about the organizational structure of SAPS, one raised this issue that, but you had things that were effectively working during the apartheid era.
Okay.
It's not everything that apartheid did which was wrong. There are things that they did which were helpful, which we can use in the new dispensation. It is in that context that we speak about that. And I think this then talks to the murder and robbery unit that is in the new in the organogram. I'm not saying that they were not working on this. I'm just saying it is there now in the organogram.
Okay. Now, you are saying under the administration of the former Minister of Police, Minister Mathale, you were also responsible for IPIT.
Yeah.
And backlogs in court. Let's start with the first aspect, the IPIT. So what is the role of the deputy minister if he's responsible for IPIT?
No, it's the role that the minister play over IPT. They remain an independent police investigative directorate, but under the guidance of the minister.
So the classification process, do you know how it goes?
Classification of what?
Of information, documents by IPIT.
Yeah, they will. It's like any other department. You do work, and depending on the sensitivity of the issues that you are dealing with, as the person responsible for that act, you classify the information. There are processes and procedures that they follow to do that.
So is it correct to say it's classified by the original owner or original author?
Yes, but the executive director is the custodian, is the accounting officer. Is the one that gives that stamp of approval.
So the minister does not get involved?
It's not his decision.
Okay. And then how would you describe your relationship with the former minister, Minister Mathale?
Well,
is there a dichotomy between the relationship that you had with him and the relationship that you have with the current minister in terms of the working relationship?
I had a good working relationship with both ministers. General Kele, I came to work with him now when I became deputy minister. And we haven't worked together before. Personality-wise, we are two different people, but we were able to find a way to work very well together. Ultimately, we worked very well. The current minister, I've known him before he became a minister when he was a provincial secretary of the ANC in KZN, and I was the provincial secretary in Limpopo, though he came at the tail end when the last term of my office as secretary, but I almost a year or so that I worked with him, and we came to interface, even in this case, when I was premier. He became premier, but I exited quicker. The space, but we maintained contact over the years. But to come and work together in an office, it started now, and of course I looked forward to working with him, given the fact that I have worked with him before as secretary, and him being secretary of the province. I didn't foresee any difficulties, and we worked well from the beginning up till now. We still work well together. It's just this incident that happened, which has now brought us here. But otherwise, we work well and we relate very well.
Okay. So you said your functions are entailed in the performance plan, right?
My functions, as in 2018, 2019, I had delegated responsibilities signed off by the minister and myself.
Yes.
And this time around, we have not yet arrived at that. We were still working as and when tasks are assigned. Yeah.
Okay. So your functions remain valid for as long as the administration is valid. So they lapse when you go to another administration.
No, yes. My delegated authority lapsed the day after the president was sworn in as the president of the republic.
Okay. So when the new minister comes in, he must formulate another performance plan for you. Then for how long, after how long should that task be done? Let me just ask it this way. In the previous administration, after how long was it done?
Well, it was done fairly quicker. And the reason being that I was dealing with a police officer, in the sense that General Kele was the national commissioner. And when I came in, he was a minister appointed in 2018 when President Ramaphosa became president in the 5th administration. So when the 6th administration came, General Kele was reappointed as Minister of Police. So you had somebody who was fairly conversant with his responsibilities. And that explains why it was quick. With Minister Mchunu, he had to understand the complexities of the institution. Mind you, here you are talking of a department with 4 departments, basically 5 departments in one. You are police, you are DPCI, you are civilian secretariat for police, and IPID, and ultimately CIRA, and the entities like your DNA board, DPCI judge. Those are the instruments that belong to this one department. So it's not, you can't just walk in and suddenly know who must do what. You need to fully understand. When you delegate people what you understand yourself. Yeah.
So does it mean even the other DM, because we have two deputy ministers, right?
Yeah.
Does not have functions that are delegated to him?
Yes, not yet.
So both of you?
Yeah.
Now, if you are to be honest with us or with South Africans, do we need deputy ministers? Do we need two deputy ministers in SAPS?
Absolutely.
Under the circumstances, because you are, I think you are, how many months have you been in office?
So
have you spent in
year.
office?
A year.
A year. You have spent 12 months in office with no delegated functions, because that indirectly means that you add no value to the minister's work. If after 12 months he has not given any function to you through a performance agreement. So he is simply saying, you guys are not adding any value to my work. So there's no need for me to formulate any performance agreement or any performance plan that delegates functions to you. Because a performance plan is triggered by the practical need, by a practical need. They don't just take it from the atmosphere. When there is a need for you to do something, they write that need down and give you responsibilities to resolve those needs. Now, that has not happened for 12 months. Now, do two deputy ministers add any value under the current form?
Definitely they do, Honorable. It doesn't mean that delegations, because delegations have not done, therefore, the department can function without deputy ministers. It doesn't mean that. There is relevance to their creation. And as I said, that SAPS is not like other ministries. It's a huge department. A department that is complex in how it is structured. There you have 4 entities that are in themselves departments. And you need to preside over them. So yes, there is a need and a necessity. The delay, it's a delay that we have had, but that delay cannot explain why you can't have deputy ministers. It had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, no, I hear you, DM, but I disagree. A delay for 12 months, not just an ordinary delay, for 12 months without any task given to you. In terms of, I know that now it's issue-based, but it's not in terms of the performance plan or in terms of the performance agreement. And that makes things to be difficult for you, because I know that I know you as a politician. I know that you are an efficient person. So I'm sure that even the current circumstances, they are a frustration to you, because you end up sometimes not knowing what to do, because there's actually nothing that gives you a responsibility from a performance plan. And the delay is inexcusable. It was going to be excusable maybe if it was a delay of 1 month, 2 months, but you have spent 12 months in office without a performance agreement. And whereas you are two, we're not talking about 1 deputy minister, 2 deputy ministers.
No, look, there is no way that the delays that we have experienced, you can say on the basis of that you don't need deputy ministers. You can't. I believe the nature of the organization you are dealing with necessitates the need for that. And you must deal with the delays. And I think, like I said earlier on, Honorable, that if the Minister Mchunu, tomorrow we rise and we conclude, and he must come to work on Thursday, I'm certain that delegations will be attended to. He is ready to do that.
So, DM, can a justification that says the reason why you were not consulted as deputy ministers is because there is no performance plan or agreement that was given to you. So actually a need to consult you did not arise because of that prevalent fact. Would you agree with that? Would that justification accord with logic?
I don't think it will be appropriate or correct to reach that conclusion on honorable. You can't, on the basis of that letter, then conclude that that is the motivation why it was crafted the manner in which he did, because it's not. He himself have said before you that he was resting at home and he was thinking about the tasks at hand, and he decided to pen that letter, and nothing beyond that motivated him to do it the way he did. And I think he concedes as well that yes, he has written the letter, but also those who felt things should have been handled differently, they should have picked up a call. And I think one of the honorables here asked a question to say, while you expect a call, why didn't you call as well? Didn't you think it's wise for you to call? And I guess he considered that is both ways. So it really had nothing to do with efficiency or non-efficiency of deputy ministers. It's a decision that was made, and I think with retrospect, it could have been made differently.
Okay. The minister, when he was here, he cited the Constitution as a source which gives him powers to do, which gave him powers to do what he did on the 31st of December. Mm-hmm. And he said the Constitution gives him a right to issue directives.
Yeah.
Now, my reaction to that is that there is a difference between a directive and an instruction. Mm. A directive must be given in terms of the constitutional order. If the Constitution gives me a right to open this bottle, mm-hmm. and it gives you a right to give me a direction, it doesn't mean that you can open this bottle on my behalf. Mm-hmm. It means you can say to me, Nomvalo, I think you must open this bottle. Mm-hmm. And then a directive is limited to that extent. Mm-hmm. A directive can mean that you can take a decision on my behalf. Now, if I characterize what the minister did, I characterize it as an instruction. Mm-hmm. An instruction which went beyond a constitutional order. Mm-hmm. In my view, an ideal scenario would be a situation where the minister calls the National Commissioner and say, National Commissioner, in my view, there is absolutely no need for this PKTT at this moment. Yeah. It does not add any value anymore. It is wasteful expenditure. Mm-hmm. So in my view, the task team must be disbanded. Mm-hmm. So what the minister did, in my view, is that he did what was supposed to be done by the National Commissioner under the name of a directive. And that was a serious misunderstanding of his of his constitutional obligation on his part. Do you agree with me if I put that scenario?
Well, the letter was written in the manner in which it was crafted and sent to the National Commissioner. the interface that must happen between the executive authority and the counting officer, it's a dialectical interface between the two offices, as I tried to explain earlier on, that the executive authority need to interact with the accounting officer and vice versa. If the executive authority issues out a communique that the accounting officer feel is out of sync, there is a responsibility on the side of the accounting officer to say this is out of sync because of the following, and it can be done that way. And they should take it like that and proceed, because there is no other way that things can be done except that interface between the two. If you look at the earlier comment about a meeting that took, I think it's the meeting of the 5th, where the minister led a delegation to the portfolio committee. Effectively, the minister submitted to the portfolio committee that the PKTT is going to be dissolved, and is going to be, this process is going to be done in phases. There will be a transitional period. That is the presentation that served before the committee, presented by the minister. I'm saying presented by the minister because when we go and appear before the portfolio committee, we are led by the minister as the executive authority, and the national commissioner as the accounting officer. When we present through whoever is presenting, delegated by the minister, and the national commissioner ultimately presenting, it is the minister presenting because it's his document, but it is presented through somebody who is in that space. But technically, it is the decision. It is the minister's decision to talk of that transitional approach. The national commissioner says, "No, I agree to a phased-in approach," but the two of them appeared before a committee and presented an approach to how the PKTT process must be handled. So, despite the fact that there is a directive that was issued, but they presented jointly to say this is how it's going to be done. And that was totally against what the directive was saying. I don't know whether I'm with...
Yeah, I'm following you at DM.
Yes.
So, in conclusion, you agree with my statement or with my narrative that the decision does not fall within the ambits of a directive entailed in the Constitution. In fact, that was not a directive, but it's a decision that was taken on behalf of the National Commissioner, and he was simply instructed to implement it as is. Did you agree with that narrative?
No, but what was implemented is different to what is written in the letter. I'm saying the interface between the accounting officer and the executive authority is a dialectical relationship. It's not a one way that do this and what you say gets done the way you want it to be done. You say do this, and the administration come and do what you say they must do, but in a manner that it makes sense. That's why it became a phased-in approach as we presented.
I would say I would slightly differ with you and say in the manner that is permissible.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah, in the manner that is allowed by the law or by the Constitution.
We're saying the same thing. I agree with you.
Yeah, in this case, because if you say in the manner that makes sense, that can be subjective.
Of course.
Because what makes sense to me might not make sense to you. But there is a Constitution which gives guidance here on what a directive is and how the directive can be issued to the National Commissioner. Now, you there is a proposition that you are making, which I agree with, but I just want you to broaden it a little bit by giving more substance to it. That of making documents electronically, I mean dockets, because the conclusion that I've drawn from what you are saying is that the current system is vulnerable. Documents can be stolen, and the content therein can be altered, unfairly so. Now, before I go to the question that I want to ask, there is an issue of documents of dockets which were taken from KZN to Pretoria.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that?
I was not aware of that until I was notified that something like that happened.
Oh, when were you notified?
I think it was I don't know of the exact date, but I can get that. I received an SMS from General Sevilla that there are dockets that are being taken here to KZN, which were brought in here, and those dockets can't be touched because the commission, they must be given to the commission, something like that. That's when I realized there's something like this, which I raised the matter with the National Commissioner. And the National Commissioner said, no, he will make sure that nothing happens that jeopardizes the work of the commission.
Okay. So that was after the press briefing?
Yeah.
Of the 6th?
No, yeah.
Okay. But before they were taken to Pretoria, you were not aware?
No.
And before the press briefing on the 6th of July, you were not aware?
No.
Okay. Now, you are saying because you were also responsible for the backlogs under the administration of Minister Cele. You are saying this modernization that you are proposing can resolve all those challenges, including the issue of a backlog.
Yeah, yes, it can. Yes, it can, because the problems of the backlog were not necessarily a problem or a challenge of modernization. It was just inefficiencies in the administration of the laboratory, the things that they work with in the laboratory. For instance, the machines, they need to be maintained. There are contracts for chemicals that are used in the laboratories that were not in place. I mean, we visited the laboratory here in Cape Town with General Cele. We found machines that had stickers of out of order, just because they were not collaborated. You know, when you don't take your car to service, it malfunctions. So the machines must be in working order for them to give you results that are appropriate. So we developed a project with Deputy Minister Jeffries from Justice, so that from the justice side, they must prioritize cases that are serving before the leadership for one reason or the other. That must be processed to make sure that when that time comes for those cases, we are ready to process them, because there were cases that were thrown out of court because we were not ready with the results. So it was that which we were dealing with. The modernization that one was talking to is with regard to your case dockets that are manual, files, and they get stolen either in the hands of police or they are stolen in court. They disappear. So once the docket is stolen, you can't reconstruct. It's difficult to reconstruct. But if it's electronic, it's safe. If it gets stolen, you just go and download the file and make it ready for use in court. Yes, modernization can assist in a variety of ways, including policing, body cam cameras, the problems of the challenge around stolen guns. We lose guns in the police. If they steal your gun, you can't trace it. So if you mark them, because technology exists for that, it can help us a great deal.
Okay. No, I think DM, you can make submissions. I take that submission as a valid one. You can also make submissions to the Department of Justice. I think there is a bill that they are currently busy with. But on top of what you are saying, don't you think that enrolling matters which are not ready in court also contributes to a backlog problem? For instance, enrolling a matter whose investigation is not complete, a matter that goes to court for the IO just to say we are still investigating an alternative address. And that matter has been enrolled in the midst of many matters which are being heard in court. Don't you think that also makes a huge undesirable contribution?
I fully agree with you.
Okay, lastly, the chair has made an indication that I'm running out of time. Lastly, if you were a minister at the time when the PKTT was dissolved, and you had a view that the PKTT should be dissolved, what mechanism or what process were you going to follow to ensure that everybody is satisfied and to ensure that you have done everything correctly, you have followed the correct process?
When you are a minister, you are part of a team. And you must always work with your team if you want to be victorious. It's teams that win championships. If you don't have a team, you won't win a championship. I believe that should be the approach in any environment. Without that, you won't win. It's like now, if the chair can provide leadership and chair this committee, you will not end what you are supposed to do. And I think he has been chairing the committee in a manner that there is progress. I don't know which date this is, but you have been sitting and there is progress. You need a team person in any environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm passing the baton to Honorable Shongwe.
Yes. Let him run his lap.
Thank you, Chair. Do you call 10 minutes a lap, Chair?
It's less than 10, Honorable Shongwe.
How many minutes, Chair? How many? No, when you ask, they don't take your time. I need to ask.
We have 6 minutes.
Wow. Okay. Then I'll be very short. Dumela Tuna Mutfosa.
Tobel.
La phela papa.
Siyaphila kunjani?
Awa siyaphila nathi. Oh siyakhuluma. Awa. Nekare la bolela.
Ke a bolela.
Lo apa ka apa.
Le nna ke apa. Na bola.
Quick one. I'm worried and concerned. My colleague asked you here, Hori, the fact that it's been a year and you guys don't have a delegated work clear to you to do, in fact, doesn't it that worry you, Hori? We are wasting taxpayers' money somehow?
Look, I will be the happiest to have my responsibilities clearly defined, but I also appreciate where we are, where we come from, and we are not just sitting idle, waiting to be given responsibilities. We are working as a team. We do things. It's just unfortunate that we have, which brought us here, the crafting of a note, which if it was not done, we wouldn't be here. But generally speaking, we have been a team dealing with policing, and there have been progress registered by the team. And I think we were on the right track to dealing with criminality in the country. The way we have positioned ourselves, the way we have been able to look at the structure, the way we have been able to look at the personnel at our disposal, which can then augment the work that we do. For instance, folding the inspectorate. It's a major achievement for you to do something like that, and to also come to the determination with the structure that we have before us to say, yes, we are going to have visible policing, but at the same time, we are going to have operational response team that basically goes into an area and ensure that when they leave, the area is not the same as it was before. And the approach that have been adopted now, we have what we call Operation Shanyela Phase 2, which is slightly different to the way we have been dealing with Shanyela, which we launched then under Minister Kelly. So we were on the right track, the right focus, and something came and disrupted that thinking or that flow that was unfolding. But I believe that despite this, we still are on track, because this structure that is in place, there is no way that it will be shelved and not be implemented. It has been signed off by the National Commissioner. The unions are on board. Everybody is on course. And I believe we are ready to move with the implementation of that structure. So it's not like we were sitting and not doing anything. Work has been going on. Unfortunately, we took longer than we should have. We could have done better.
All right. Let me ask this: who appoints deputy ministers?
The President of the Republic.
So, ki phoso ya mang hore when it comes to these two deputies, you don't have clear delegated responsibilities.
No, the President has delegated the ministers to deal with this matter, and the minister was working on it. It's unfortunate that this happened before it could be finalized. But like I said, if he come back tomorrow, he reports for duty, or Thursday, this will be one of the things that he disposes of from the table.
No, ke a leboga potsiso ya gago, but yaka e re ke phoso ya mang gore lena a lena yona a lena delegated responsibilities.
Ke arabile ke re President o delegate le minister to deal with these matters, and the minister is working on it.
So ke phoso ya mang?
No, it's the minister who is supposed to process the delegation, because he has been delegated to do so by the President.
Whose fault is it that you don't have responsibilities? Which minister?
No, not that I don't have responsibilities, that we have not signed off the delegated authority. We have not signed off. So as soon as the minister is ready for us to do that, we will be able to process that.
All right. Ke a bona gore a re thole answer mo karabo mo. A mo re ite morena kana Donatus gore under this president we had one acting minister, one suspended minister, one deputy minister, and another deputy minister. That's 4. And another acting minister, 5. And all of them, they are coming in the space of this financial term. Does it maybe when you try maybe katsela engore no man morena president I don't know bolela mo re ja tšhelete ya batho ka tsela ya wrong because re dutse mo ke no nyaka mbereko mo ke no bereka ke etsa something gore o mpone gore ke busy le nna. Because what you are saying to me, you are saying you are working, you are doing something. It's like, look busy, Jesus is coming. So it to me it gives me that. Doesn't it worry your conscience for so much money has been spent on 5 positions that are not seriously helping South Africans? I'll be doing my last question after this. When the light is red, it's time for the last question. Once. Which party are you coming from, sir? Which party deployed you?
Ghana, is that part of your terms of reference?
No.
Because I want to be.
It is political interference. That's what I want to know. It's political. It's part of political interference.
Look, I am a member of the African National Congress.
And your second deputy?
She's a member of the ANC as well.
But member of ANC as well.
Absolutely.
You may answer that question. Thank you, Chair. Remember, there's a question.
But why are you appointed as deputy minister, and then you have got an acting minister? You know, the minister is on leave because we have to deal with what we are dealing with now here. That's why you are part of the ad hoc committee that is presiding to deal with these facts so that you are able to advise Parliament, for Parliament to advise on how things can be done better, different from what brought us here. And because of that, you must have somebody responsible for policing, and an acting minister has been appointed in that regard. Thank you very much, Chair.
Sorry, Chair. I think that my question was not answered. Maybe you didn't hear my question. My question speaks to your conscience. For these 5 positions are chowing in the same pot at one time. What is your perception regarding that, and how do you feel about it, Ori? There's 2 deputy ministers, there's 2 acting ministers, and there's 1 suspended minister. All of these people are still getting salaries, by the way, except for one Honorable Mandasha, if I may say. What's your take on that? What about Delegating, the South Africans? What are you saying to them about that?
Look, it's not about my feelings that we are dealing with here. We are dealing with.
Can you come forward to the mic, sir, while you speak about?
I think, Chair, I don't think the member, the question that he's raising is relevant to what we are dealing with, and I've tried to answer him. He's not satisfied with my answer. I can't answer beyond this.
So you are satisfied with the answer that you have given?
Yeah.
Okay. Honorable members,
Chair.
We will come back
Sorry,
at
Chair.
At 4:30.
Point of order, Chair. If you say you're asking the honorable sitting there, Ori, is he satisfied with the answer? What is the answer? What was the answer? I didn't hear an answer, sir.
Yeah, what he says is that the answer that he has given to you, he stands by it.
Answer to which question, sir?
My understanding is that the question that you were asking was a follow-up, and that is why you were able to clarify it.
Chair, which party are you from? I feel there's a defense here, Chair. I feel that way, not disrespect intended, because the question I asked, Chair, if no mamet, if Ngarimfe answer when that he gave me, you can't give it to me unless Chair when you can just clarify to me. No, he answered this way in this
you
question.
Asked him a question
Yes.
about appointment of 5. I listened very carefully.
Yes, and what was the answer, Chair?
And he responded.
Which was the answer? I didn't get the answer, Chair. That's what I'm asking.
But you asked a follow-up question. You even said to
I
him
was
that-
clarifying the question, Chair.
No, listen to what you said. You said to him that the question I'm asking is talking to your consciousness. I heard everything. And he came back and said the answer that I gave on that question. But look, I'm prepared to.
No, Chair, we can drop it. I understand.
No. We don't do things like that. We don't work like that. Because at the time you finished questioning, it was 18 minutes past 4, and your time has ended at 4:15. And how I want us to conduct proceedings must be in such a way that we show respect to one another as members of this committee. When your time is up, it is up, and that must be the understanding, honorable members. Because I wanted to call a break, a 15 minutes break. No, I must call a break. But before I call a break, I want us to get back to our business. And the only way of getting back to business is to do things in accordance with our agreements. When time has expired, it has expired, and unfortunately we can't reverse the clock.
Thank you.
And you know, Honorable Shongwe, I always want to declare how I equally want to be seen. It's not just about treating you equally, but manifestly seen treating you equally. And I just want to request that we have that kind of cooperation which will help us to achieve the work of the committee. Thank you so much. It's now 22 minutes after 16 hours. So I'm giving you a 15 minutes break. We are going to come here at 20 minutes before 17 hours. Thank you.